Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I thought I'd introduce you to a cap dump circuit that I've been working with. I've not made it yet, but I have the parts. They are ready to go. I'm just going to wire it, and once I see it working in the real world, then I'll be very happy. But this is a simulation of the cap dump. To basically explain, it's 255 timer chips. One 555 timer chip is reading the voltage from the charging cap. So the cap is charged up to, at the moment, 14 volts. And then that voltage gets divided to a division of the 12 volt power, which is powering the 555. So this would be the battery that's being charged. I would take that power to run the cap dump itself. So it works by sensing I think it's like 2/3 when the voltage going into the trigger is 2/3 of the voltage it runs on 12 volts. It activates the chip, and this first chip is sending a signal into the second one, and the second one is timing the dump, so it's keeping the MOSFET open for, I think it's 100 milliseconds. It can be adjusted by adjusting the resistance or the capacitance at the bottom here. Determines the time. The 555 sends a signal to the MOSFET to keep it open, and I'm using the scope to make sure that I'm going down from 14.696 volts down to almost 0 volts. So the cap is getting discharged completely. So there's one cap dump I've been working on, and another one that I have is also with a 555, but this one is not timed, and what it's doing is it's also using a transistor to trigger the MOSFET, and as you can see, it doesn't discharge down to 0. So it rises up to 14.638, and then it triggers the 555 to do its thing. That sends a signal to the NPN transistor, which opens and then sends the charge to the MOSFET, which opens. And I put an LED in there, but I couldn't figure out how to get the LED to come on when the MOSFET was discharging. The LED goes off when the MOSFET discharges. But just to show you two separate circuits that are doing cap dumps. One is just a 555 transistor MOSFET circuit, but you can't control the open time or the closed time of the MOSFET to let the cap dump properly. As you can see from the diagram, it only goes down to about 7 volts. It goes from 14 down to 7. So for myself, I prefer to be able to control the time that the MOSFET is open for. So we have, again, the voltage divider takes the 15 volts, let's say, on the cap, and it brings it down to 8 volts. And because 8 volts is 2/3 of the power which the 555 is running on, that's what triggers the 555. So when it hits 8 volts between here, the voltage divider, this is 15, so then at this point it's 8 volts. That turns the 555 on, and that triggers the second 555, which sends the signal to the MOSFET to open the MOSFET. And this one is opening the MOSFET for a set time, which is determined by the resistor and the capacitor. I had a good old time fighting the AI on this one. Just fighting the AI to talk me through it, but now it's there and it works in the simulation. Next step is to try and make it in the real world, and this is the one I'm going for. So 2 555s with a MOSFET and a cap. Hope everyone's doing well. I'll see you again next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.